tell a personal story and talk a little bit about the college. I was in class, it was in laboratory, when all of a sudden the lights dimmed. I had no idea anything was wrong. The lights dimmed, and I looked out the window, and it looked like there was a pretty strong wind blowing, and a big tree fell down, and I said, oh, that's a pretty strong wind. Then I looked across the quad, and the copper roofs were coming off the building across the quad, and I thought, that's a really strong wind. Maybe we better get under the table. So we all got under the lab tables until the storm went by, and all that happened as far as the lab was concerned was that one little branch broke one little window. My kids were in school with Julie, and my next concern was where were they? So I went home, and our son Paul was there, and he was scared to death because essentially he tried to go to the basement, and part of the house blew down the stairs, and he didn't think he should do that, so he was hiding in a closet. Our younger son was at the campus center in the basement, so he was perfectly safe. Then my next question is, where's my wife? And she was at the Girl Scouts at Presbyterian Church. So I ran from the campus to the church to see if they were okay, ran past Julie's house, and things were pretty much of a mess. She was okay, so then the next question was, how about the college? Fortunately, there were no serious injuries at the college. Fortunately, I think miraculously, because the top was blown off of one of the sorority houses. Most of the faculty houses were damaged one way or another, but there were no serious injuries. Our house was kind of interesting. It was not badly damaged. It was sort of interesting. Piece of somebody's house had blown through the side of our house. It was half in and half out. Somebody else's roof beam was standing right beside our house in the yard. But otherwise, the only damage we had was a lot of windows and roof. And my wife made, if you got lemons, make lemonade. If you got broken, she went around and picked up all the glass shards from around the house and made wind chimes out of them. The college rallied around. They found a generator, apparently, and so that there was power restored to the campus center. Many families spent the time there eating their meals at the campus center. We didn't. We had a nice big fireplace, and there was plenty of firewood all around. It was a little spooky because sometimes we were obviously burning somebody else's staircase. And we had a camp stove, so there was no problem getting food cooked, and didn't have to worry about power for the refrigerator because the ambient temperature was just about refrigerator temperature, so that was no problem. Meanwhile, a lot of cleanup was going on. The campus was sort of a closed camp. They were very afraid of looters because there was a lot of copper around, and copper was bringing a lot of money. There were also a lot of walnut trees down, and people would have come in and stolen those for the wood. So we stood guard at both of the campus entrances. Students had all gone home. It was just about the end of the term, so we just said, okay, the school's out. We called off final exam week, which was to the dismay of students who were counting on the final exams to bring up their grades. But anyway. So the National Guard and the Red Cross and many other people came to the rescue. I remember Red Cross people coming around and seeing if we were okay and needed coffee or anything. National Guard came, many people came to help. The main problem was cleaning up all the trees that were down. We were just in the process of moving the physics department from one building to another, and part of the hope was that construction kept going in the new building, and so that was kind of my indication that life would go on. And indeed it did. The college was back in session, and students came back, and college went back to its normal operations on the 21st of April. So thanks to a whole lot of people, the college survived, and it was a sad but heroic time as far as the college was concerned. So thank you.